Hi, this is Matt with LSAT Cracked. We're going to discuss what I would contend is the most difficult question stem on the logical reasoning section: necessary assumptions. I've got a lot of confidence in saying that because I work with students who are in the 170, 171 range. They're getting elite LSAT scores already, but these people are aiming for Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or a merit scholarship somewhere else in the T14, and they're still trying to wring out those last few LSAT points. Necessary assumption question stems are typically what they are struggling with, and there's one thing that they're doing wrong that I'm going to help you try and understand in this video. Okay, let's just back up. We're in the argument evaluation family, so you're finding the conclusion and you're articulating the flaw. Why does this conclusion not necessarily have to be true based on the premises that I've read previously? Okay, so we're in the same part we always are. Now, the question stem says, the conclusion follows above only if which one of the following is assumed, or the reasoning above, the conclusion above depends on assuming which one of the following. Notice the emphasis on words that are letting us know it's a necessary assumption. We are not doing a sufficient assumption question stem. We are not doing a strengthening question. It drives me crazy when I see test prep companies include necessary assumption question stems as if they are a type of strengthening. Maybe on some abstract high-level concept, sure, but it confuses the hell out of students when they do. It is not the right way to think about it. It's not the right way to teach it. You are asking yourself one question and one question only when it comes to a necessary assumption question. If I remove it, if I negate it, remember that's how the necessary works. You see the power of a necessary condition, not when you have it. When you have the necessary condition, you can't conclude anything. So it's not about if I have this answer choice, it's about what if this answer choice was taken from me? What about if I negated it and I took it from the argument? If it was missing, would it ruin the argument? If anything, necessary assumptions should be taught alongside weakening question stems. Because once you negate the right answer, it will weaken the argument. Now, in the sufficient assumption lesson, we talked about how it was impossible for a sufficient assumption answer choice to be quote unquote too strong. Hey, make it as strong as you want. If some A's or B's is sufficient, then most A's or B's or all A's or B's would also be sufficient. The exact opposite logic applies to necessary assumption questions. If I need 80% of a working heart to be alive, let's say, well then it follows that I need at least 3% of a working heart, don't I? If I need 80%, then I need any amount of that same thing, here a working heart, that's less or weaker than 80%. I'm not saying that having 3% would be great. It wouldn't be. But it's required. It's necessary. Because if I didn't have at least 3% of a working heart, then what would you know with negating it? I'd have 2.9% or less. And if that were true, that would weaken my argument. That is the correct way to approach necessary assumption questions. The negation technique. Go back earlier in the course and make sure that you're comfortable with how to do the logical opposite. That's going to give you precision in how to negate a variety of different sentences. Then you'll be able to approach an argument and say, if this answer choice was negated, does it weaken the argument? If so, you found the right answer choice. And one last tip. On some of these very hard necessary assumption answer choices or stimuli, you're going to read what seems like a good argument. Maybe you didn't catch the flaw. You're only human. It's a 35-minute time test. You might not spot the flaw. If that happens, I want you to keep one thing in mind. If you ever read an answer choice where you thought, wait, didn't I already know that? Didn't they already tell me that? That's almost certainly the right answer. Because what's happening is, you as a human, you read something between the lines on these premises where they didn't explicitly tell it to you, but your mind, in order to make sense of what they were saying, filled in the blank. You filled in, right? So you assumed it was true. So then when you see it in the answer choice, you're like, wait, I thought I already knew that. That is a clue for you to pay special attention to that answer choice and imagine, wait a second, what would happen if that wasn't true? And again, if taking it away from the argument caused it to crumble, you know you found the right answer.